Society scammed men from the very beginning. Guys, this is a really important topic we have to discuss and talk about, but we will do this right after the intro. Okay guys, society scammed men from the very beginning. And where should I begin now? There are different areas of human history we have to retrospect. And first of them is wars. When you think about it, in ancient times, it was absolutely common that only men went to war. Of course, nowadays, with the influence of feminism and the so-called equality of men and women, there are lots of women in the military, not only in the USA or countries like Germany. In many countries, especially Western countries, it is quite common nowadays that women can join the military forces. But if it comes to war, of course, they will turn into cowards and rather retreat. Most women, I think, I don't know, but in the past, when you look back thousands of years, only men went to war. So they had to protect their tribes or their towns, villages, cities, or entire empires later as the mankind grew larger and larger, and with larger population, big empires arose. And yes, they had to protect it. And this is also one of the reasons, more or less the main reason even, why the Roman Empire collapsed. The Roman Empire mainly collapsed because they gave too many privileges and too much freedom to women, and men were no longer appreciated enough. There's a good reason, guys, a good reason why both in Germany and in America and in many other countries nowadays, in so many Western countries nowadays, the military forces are shrinking. There is no longer enough personnel to fill the ranks in the military in so many countries because men are walking away. More and more men realize that scam, because this is actually a good thing. And don't forget, war is always a racket. War is always just a means of gathering more and more wealth and more money for the super rich. For example, the conflict in the Ukraine between Russia and the Ukraine, this is nothing about justice or honor or whatsoever. Neither the Ukrainian people are the bad people, nor the Russian people. Basically, it is only about resources to conquer resources in the Ukraine and so on. And with all other wars that are going on currently and that were fought in the past, in mankind history, it was always only about money, believe me that. So when you go to the front and you die in war or you die in battle, when you die on the battlefield, you only die for the rich bastards, the rich assholes that are who are secretly controlling and ruling the world behind stage. And basically, it was always like this, that men protected the country, they went to war, and women extracted the resources of society. And they benefited from the outcome of the wars when there was peace again later. And every time when a country was destroyed after a war, there was enough work to rebuild it. There was a high demand for certain products because food was rare and so on. This is the reason why right after a war, no matter if a country won or lost this war, the economy is thriving. This is also the reason why the economy was so much thriving at the age of the boomers, the baby boomers, and yeah, and also women benefit from this rising economy after a war, and also the rebuilding of the destroyed cities and so on after the war. This physical labor is also mainly stamped by the shoulders of men. So war was always something in history that was not only a record, but also something that men had to suffer from and women benefited from. So, besides war, let's now talk about marriage laws. I think I don't have to say much here. It is no secret that the marriage laws and the divorce laws are working against us. The divorce laws are simply made the way that women are acting like agents for the state and taking away all the wealth from men as they divorce, because a man basically loses everything when he gets divorced from his wife. It doesn't matter if you get divorced from your wife or if she initiates the divorce, the man always loses everything. And this is a totally messed up system, guys, because you can be the best husband, you can do everything right, everything correctly, but at the end of the day, if your wife eventually gets to the conclusion that the grass is greener on the other side, and Chet and Tyrone are more exciting, and she jumps over to them, you are simply fucked up, because in that case, in that scenario, you did nothing wrong. But even though you did nothing wrong, you lose everything, your house, your money, whatsoever, as you get divorced from your wife. Taxes is also another issue. It is no secret that men pay the majority of taxes while women make the majority of consumer purchases. So this is another example, only one of many examples I could point out here, why men are always those who build and sustain a society, and women are simply milking the resources out of the society. And basically, taxes are a scam in general. When the I remember when the First World War began, this is when taxes were basically invented, when they were introduced, not only in Germany or America. Basically, it became a normal thing in all Western society. Before the First World War, there were no taxes at all. But at the time, back then, and at the time of the old German Empire, the government decided and spoke to the folks, listen up, we have to get taxes from you now. We have to gather some money to finance the war. There are some badasses coming to us and we have to defend against them. And that's why we need money. The government needs money to manufacture weapons, to have enough weaponry to defend our country. That's why you have to pay taxes now, but it will be temporarily. So temporarily, and when the politicians say temporarily, it actually means forever. So the government stated temporarily forever, we will charge you taxes now. And it started with low taxes, and nowadays in all Western countries, it is normal, completely normalized in Western society to pay up to 40 or maybe even 50% of taxes. And it's just normal. The people don't care about it, they simply pay it. Of course, don't get me wrong, you should not try to dodge the taxes. If you don't want to pay taxes, just start an online business, get successful with it, and then emigrate to Dubai or somewhere else where you don't have to pay any taxes. This is still the best approach. But the funny thing is, it's really kind of ironic. Back at the time of the American Revolution, people went totally ballistic because they were forced to pay 2% of taxes to the British government. The people of the old 13 colonies of ancient North America, yes, they went totally ballistic because of 2% of taxes, and nowadays 40% of taxes, the 20-fold of 2%, are simply tolerated. And inflation, by the way, when the prices are rising constantly, this is also nothing else but a tax. It is a hidden tax. It is included into our financial and economic system another way than the obvious taxes that we have to pay. But indirectly, inflation is also a tax that we pay. And last but not least, my friends, last but not least, there's another thing, another part of society where men are totally scammed, and these are dating apps. When dating apps like Tinder or Bumble were originally created, they were created with the purpose of oppressing men. Believe me or not, dating apps were originally invented to oppress men. Because I don't have to say much about this, guys. You see it by yourselves. In modern dating, when you look at dating apps or online dating in general, dating apps are designed that women can perfectly live out their hypergamy. They can act out their hypergamy. They can act out their hypergamy that easily on dating apps. They go hunting for Chad and Tyrone. They are just fighting and competing for the top 1% of men, maybe even also still the top 5%, but the rest of them is simply invisible to them. And men are completely screwed on dating apps. And the worst thing is, dating apps also affect offline dating. So, if you as a man, if you are aware of how cooked the dating market is, how screwed online dating is, especially when you go on classic dating apps like Tinder, in that case, if you are smart, you simply stay away from dating apps and try your luck outside in the real world. But here's the thing, guys. Even if a woman doesn't use dating apps, even when a woman is only looking for a partner outside of the internet or at least outside of dating apps, but only the fact that dating apps exist, the fact that social media and the internet do exist, this is already enough to increase a woman's standards to an extensive and unrealistic high. Because even a woman who doesn't use dating apps because she knows how toxic they are, because she has plenty of options when it comes to men, because she can always have lots of bananas in her fridge, if you know what I'm talking about, when she installs Tinder. She can have lots of dudes into her bedroom right away after installing dating apps. And because modern women do know this, because they are aware of this, they also get pickier when it comes to offline dating. When you approach a woman outside in the streets or in the bar or in the supermarket or whatsoever, when you approach a woman outside, no matter if she is active on dating apps and social media or not, your chances of being your chances of being successful, of not getting publicly shamed by her for approaching her, These chances are really low if you don't look like a chat, because she knows she can have Chat and Tyrone online if she would like to go for online dating. Yes, and some researchers even state that dating apps or online dating in general is much, much more unfair than all economies in this world. When you see people in India walking around on the garbage dump to collect trash and to sell this rubbish to make some money and to stay alive, and on the other hand, there are the super rich in Miami, in Los Angeles, and somewhere else in the world. This is a huge imbalance. This is a huge injustice when it comes to how how all the wealth in the world is split to different people. And when you think that this economical system is already unfair, the economical system of dating apps is even unfairer towards men. This is the way it is, guys. So besides of wars, marriage laws and divorce laws and taxes and inflation, things that actually affect men more than women, even when many idiots out there still claim that everything that happens in this world that's negative, of negative impact, affects women more than men. No, it's the total opposite, the complete opposite, that rather men are more affected by these things. But after all the scams I just mentioned, from wars, marriage laws, and taxes, the greatest scam for men in the modern world are dating apps or online dating in general. And unfortunately, dating in general itself, no matter if it is online dating or offline dating, dating in general has become a scam for men. But there are still solutions, guys, and there are also still good women out there, even if you don't believe me. That's why, if you like this content, please subscribe to my channel, because as soon as I hit 1000 subscribers, I will crank out my ebook Secrets of Natural Attraction for free. And in this ebook, you will learn, I'm not kidding with you, I'm not exaggerating. In this ebook, you will learn the best strategy, the best dating strategy that works the best for the modern cooked dating market. And it is even more suitable for men who are introverts, who based on my experience, even struggle the most when it comes to dating and relationships. If you don't want to wait until I crank this ebook out for free, you can already purchase it right away in my online shop for only $5, including tax. And you can find the link down below in the video description. And besides that, I have another surprise for you as soon as my channel hits 1000 subscribers. That's why don't forget to subscribe. That's why don't forget to subscribe. Also hit the like button, as it helps the YouTube algorithm, and share the video, and also leave your and also share your opinion with me down below in the comments if you like. That's all. I hope to see you in the next video, and see you next time, my friends.